and cakey first evening of classes. Well, we know you can't wait to either dig into the stacks and caress yourselves with books, or head straight to the frats for a night of board games and soda. We hope you will find this conference is worthwhile. Today you will hear from both the Vice President of Campus and Students Who Are Alive, and the Vice Provost for Manifest Destiny. They will detail all there is to know about the past and future of life at this great campus, recapping what we have built already and what is yet to be made. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the first annual State of the Campus, Building for the Future.
Woo! Hello and thank you. On behalf of everyone at the Chicago Shady dealer, welcome to the State of the Campus. Many of you are here because you were told there would be cake. Others have come seeking a career advancement seminar, a Logan launch festival, an undead IOP event, or perhaps to find out why your dormitory is closing. Because you deserve and always receive unparalleled honesty and clarity, I will give it to you. There is no launch festival. There is no Ronald Reagan interview or internment workshop. Your dormitories are not closing except for Pierce. But students, faculty, and friends, do not fear, for the cake is real. Though we may have led you here under some false pretenses or simply through the undulating mystique of Facebook event posts, I wish to assure you, you have come to the right place. This university, this campus, this neighborhood has changed significantly in the last few years. With the exception of Ted Cohen, Circumcision Guy, and Core Bio being the worst. Nearly everything has been touched by the wave of exciting demolition, construction, and alteration sweeping over the university. The heyday of the stinking A-level, over. The need for a movie theater we don't have time for, sated. The gaping hole of a giant tower to put artists into, filled. In sum, the immensity of changes that have and continue to occur across our Hyde Park habitat can be expressed through the ways we have built, by mortar and stone and billion-dollar robots, our renewed and vibrant community. Today we seek to explain in honesty previously unseen the course of our construction on campus. Where have we come from? And where do we go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Too long have our questions gone unanswered. Too long have you wondered, why is there no trauma center? Why does the North Route go to 27th Street? Is the student body becoming too normal and too pretty? The answer to the last question is apparent. All others will be answered today in full transparency, and with only 5 to 6 undercover police in the crowd, you know who you are. The story of our community's beautiful expansion starts inconspicuously enough. It all began only a few years ago, one late night in the admin building. After everyone had left the office, except for a few of us, we began to talk about how this campus could change for the better. When we started talking about doing something for our university family, we had no idea that only 9 months later, our little Mansueto would hatch. Once it finally opened its embryonic passage to the willing hordes, we realized our little mistake had turned into a real and thriving success. Even being a giant glass egg couldn't keep students out of the new library. The symbol of birth told us that there was opportunity to grow elsewhere on campus. But how? And where? Having already built the latest residence hall in honor of enigmatic billionaire Russell South, we weren't initially sure where tuition money could go. What could possibly be needed for the life of the mind to grow from more to more? To more to more. To more. The answer, of course, was to quarantine all the distracting artists and performers in a place far away from the serious mission of our school, thereby protecting the weak and innocent. To achieve this, we built the Logan Center for the Visual and Performing Arts with a generous gift from anti-art campaigners David and Reva Logan. Finding space far enough away from the main campus was difficult, but we realized we could maximize our aims by building vertically instead of horizontally. With all the artists in one tower, we could adequately keep them separate, while allowing everyone else to do their problem sets. To ensure that we captured everyone interested in art, we held 13 launch festivals with great success. At the pinnacle of this success, though, came our greatest benefactor and key to the future, the Right and Honorable Arlie D. Cathy, praised be his name. Chokes me up. It was with the donation from the Right Honorable Arlie D. Cathy, peace be upon him, that we were finally able to address the greatest concern of our students, that campus locations had too many different names. Consistent feedback said that students intending to reach Harper Memorial Library Reading Room would often instead find themselves at the South Campus Dining Commons. With the gift of Lord Cathy, the great and powerful, we were able to name both locations the same thing, thereby providing much-needed clarity and peace of mind to our students. Indeed, as you all know, it was at this same time that we installed the award-winning Arlie D. Cathy Learning Center sign in the reading room, lauded for its well-balanced typography, a fitting marker for that neo-Gothic palace. As you had probably realized, we were on top of the world, breaking the glass ceiling of library design, knocking on the door of opportunity to name things. With this capital achievement, we were spurred forward easily and found new ways to raise your tuition. Yet, at this moment of me shaving, we had to take pause and ask ourselves, what can we make that will best serve the community? What can we do that will be accessible to all, that will offer and offend no one, that will be well utilized? It took us a while to come to the answer, but through useful feedback from a forum attended by 24 donuts and a jug of lukewarm coffee, we found our next two goals. The $700 trillion Center for Care and Discovery and the Becker-Friedman Institute for Research in Old White People. They were the perfect fit. The Center for Care and Discovery was exactly what the community was asking for. While the SEC thrived and the South Side had too many trauma care facilities, there was a large void of giant buildings to shuffle sick people into and out of. It was a natural fit. No more natural, though, than our decision to move the Becker-Friedman Institute into the building that formerly housed the seminary and its co-op. To honor the spirit of cooperation and love of theology was our main goal, and I'm sure you'll agree we have succeeded. In both cases, we believe our latest addition to campus will be the best ones yet. To speak, though, only of our successes on campus would be simply irresponsible. For campus expansion and community domination are inextricably linked. Garnering such success on campus, we could hardly wait to expand into the uninhabited and undeveloped world of the South Side, finding with great luck that there were no businesses or people north of 54th or south of 59th was truly a terrific success. We've already added Harper Theater and Kilwin's Fudge Shop to Hyde Park, crushing any idea that we have any form of food desert. Fudge, as you have learned in metabolism and nutrition or your biotopics course, is a main food group staple. Cake is also a food group staple. But we'll get there in a minute. For now, I close the door on this portion of the building recap and will hand it over to my colleague to raise the roof on what is to come. Vice Provost.
Hello and thank you. My colleague has done a great job of tracing the road that we as a university have unilaterally taken on behalf of a community of approximately 50,000. I'd now like to spend a few minutes explaining how we plan to capitalize on the increased prestige we have garnered with our widely lauded accept 25 students per year policy. We as a university are not content to sit on our laurels. As I'm sure you all learned in Soch, Marx wrote that the only thing that complacency breeds is nausea and/or thoroughbred horses. Having enough of both, we are determined to remain steadfast in the realization of our South Side manifest destiny. One of the most exciting examples of God shining his light on our brave campus upon a hill is the long-anticipated opening of Chicago's favorite authentic home-style Mexican restaurant, another QDOBA. Our decision to open a QDOBA Mexican grill in Hutch Commons was so well received that we as an administration felt that we would be remiss to not encourage the opening of another one on 53rd Street. It was expensive to void the contract we had previously negotiated with QDOBA imitator Chipotle, but we think you'll agree that it was well worth it. The new location will be opening sometime this summer. Simultaneously, our mercenary army of headclaw-equipped construction workers will begin to destroy the travesty that is Pierce. You complained, we bought you iPads. You complained again, we told you to shut up and go play with your iPads. The Department of Public Safety complained, and we decided to tear down the building. For those of you worried that a campus without exploding toilets will simply not feel like home, the Facilities Department has informed me that cost-saving measures taken in the construction of Max Pilevsky all but guarantee the return of our beloved tradition of porcelain combustibles to campus within a few months. Rising in the place of Old Pierce will be the new North Campus Residence Hall and Dining Commons, named in honor of enigmatic billionaire and generous donor Reginald North, previously known as the namesake of North Field. Among other things, North Campus promises to have a lot of glass and a dining hall with 2 more cereal varieties than our current offerings. Of course, in keeping with tradition, North Campus will also include a new QDOBA location. With regard to dining, many of you likely already heard about our plans to bring the world's favorite residents of pancakes to the university's favorite purveyor of late-night candies and trinkets. That's right, IHOP is coming to Bartmart. You can expect the same great level of service as you have come to expect from some campus dining locations as QDOBA Mexican Grill and the Omelet Station from this new option. All of your favorite IHOP specials, including the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Pancakes, chocolate chip pancakes, and pancakes, will be available in single pancake varieties wrapped in wax paper and stored in a warmer for hours on end. We're also happy to announce that we will be working with Dining to develop some meal exchange options for this new location. 3 Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Pancakes can be redeemed for 1 queso burrito from the nearest QDOBA Mexican Grill. On an academic front, we plan to continue our long tradition of pushing the boundaries for acceptable education environments. This summer, we will have the groundbreaking for the new Cathy Learning Park, a small trailer park that will be installed where Cobb Hall currently stands. By demolishing the musty old building and the CIA black site known as Cobb Coffee Shop, we will be clearing the way for 5 state-of-the-art mobile homes, only 4 of which we will ever get around to ordering. Each of these trailers will facilitate the life of the mind with false wood paneling, real linoleum tile in a deluxe kitchenette, and 3 chairs. The underlying mobility of these learning spaces will allow us to relocate classes to the locales most conducive to undergraduate intellectual development, taking a trip to the Point, paying a visit to the Art Institute, or making a jaunt to the nearest QDOBA. We are one of the first college campuses in the country to bring this technology to the undergraduate classroom, and we are very excited for you to see it. Plans to redevelop the Stewart North Reading Room into the Stewart South Main Campus North Reading Room are well underway. By replacing the roof of that boring old building with a glass dome and positioning a large elevated mirror on the roof of Ryerson, students will be able to, for the first time, fully experience the life of the mind by shining a laser pointer out of Stewart and into Mansueto, blinding an innocent peer. Finally, in reflecting on the changing composition of our campus population, I would like to now announce in coordination with the athletic department the return of football to the University of Chicago. When President Hutchins closed our Big Ten football program in 1939, he didn't have the foresight to see that sports were going to eventually become a huge part of American life. After a hiatus of almost 75 years, we'll be bringing back the long-standing tradition of the original Monsters of the Midway. Thanks to a generous gift from QDOBA, our football program will be coming back in style. This week, we'll break ground on the new QDOBA University of Chicago football stadium sponsored by QDOBA. We hope that this new development will provide an outlet for you Chicago students to experience once again the glory of Australian-style football. As I'm sure you're all aware by now, the university has finally decided to open a trauma center on the south side. Though increasingly competitive and expensive to attend, usually immersed in bitterly cold winter, and utilizing the same rigorous core treatment regimen as always, the College of the University of Chicago will soon officially be rebranding as the Trauma Center at the University of Chicago Medical Center. It has taken us 121 years to feel ready to confidently announce the college's true destiny, but the time now seems right. Our ability to inflict trauma on undergraduates through sleep deprivation, hard labor, unsolvable problem sets, and 9-week midterm periods has finally reached its zenith. The construction of the new Trauma Center sign will begin next week, after this weekend's Trauma Center sign groundbreaking ceremony. After all the changes that have occurred over the past few years, we as an administration and community are thrilled to be able to share our past triumphs and future plans with you, the source of our funding and sometimes the beneficiaries. We hope that you will continue to indulge in the most purely intellectual life of the mind that this community has to offer. Welcome to Spring Quarter, and happy April Fool's Day. And let me be clear, the state of the campus is cake.
Thank you both very much, and thank you all for coming. We're going to have a very brief Q&A session now. Does anyone have any questions?
Mr. Provost, Mr. Provost.
Sir.
You on the right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wayne Booth with the Chicago Red Eye. We're wondering what the fate of Ratner Center is and why we need to ship miles inland from Lake Michigan.
Ratner Center illustrates this university's great foresight, as rising sea levels have continued to become a huge issue for our modern world. So in 2003, when we first designed it, we knew that Lake Michigan would one day be overtaking the rest of Hyde Park, and we're planning to bring all of the non-artists into Ratner sometime soon. That way we can preserve their intellectual spirits.
Thank you.
Let me just interject for those leaving while my, partner speaks here. The first couple of pieces of cake are poisoned, so.
Yes, you in the hat.
Yeah, I'm Joe from the Word on the Street. Do you know when the UCPD's training center for undercover police work will be finished?
Whatever you have heard is false and not true, but there is not going to be a undercover training facility not opening in the near future, not in your dormitory room, Pierce 212. Okay, thank you.
Green pants.
Robert Woodward Jr., son of Bob Woodward, the journalist. I was wondering, in the building plans, are there plans for parking garages? And if so, how dimly lit will they be?
I'm glad you asked that, Bob Jr., because the plan for the future is really to have every building be parking garage. While we envision most of the parking to be for UCPD Segways and tricycles, we do envision some parking for civilian use, and we insist that they be dimly lit.
Yeah, you with the hat.
Sir, my name is Smooth Alan Jackson of the Chicago Barker. Now, is it true that President Zimmer plans to convert the quadrangles into a freshwater reserve for aquatic mammals?
Yes.
One more question. You there.
Flavio from the Evanston Wanker. Is it true that Big Cake is the future of campus events?
Yes.
Okay, that's enough. Let's eat cake.